The Mitchell Estates annual summer party was in full swing. Crystal champagne flutes sparkled in the afternoon sun as Silicon Valley's elite mingled around the pool. I sat quietly in my garden chair, separated from the important guests on the main terrace. I checked my phone discreetly. Message from my COO, jet approaching. ETA 25 minutes. Contracts signed. Emma, Mom's voice carried across the lawn. The garden really is where you belong. With the other disappointments. I slipped my phone away. Hello, Mom. My brother James raised his champagne from the terrace. The lawn is for failure, sis. Though I'm sure your little software company is cute. If only they knew about the technological empire I'd built while they weren't watching. Not everyone can run a successful tech company, Dad added, greeting another venture capitalist. Some people just lack vision. I checked my watch. 20 minutes. Speaking of success, James straightened his designer blazer. Dad, should we tell everyone our news? Dad beamed. Yes. Mitchell Tech is going public next month. James secured major backing from Valley Partners. That's wonderful, I said quietly, checking my phone again. 15 minutes. See. Mom gestured toward James. That's real success. Not whatever small-time coding you're doing. The lawn is for failures, she announced loudly enough for nearby guests to hear. The terrace is for achievers. 10 minutes. Emma could still join Mitchell Tech, Dad offered. Maybe in quality assurance. I'm happy with my work, I said. Happy? James scoffed. Happiness doesn't build billion-dollar companies, sis. Real work does. 5 minutes. A distant sound caught everyone's attention. The distinctive whine of jet engines approaching. That's odd, Dad frowned. The airport's restricted airspace today for our party. I stood from my garden chair, smoothing my simple dress. Actually, Dad, that's my arrival. You're what? Mom's voice rose. The sleek private jet appeared over the trees, my company's logo clearly visible on its tail. It touched down perfectly on the estate's private airstrip. That's impossible, James whispered. The Genesis logo, one of Dad's business partners pointed. But that's the most valuable private tech company in the world? I smiled. Yes, it is. Dad's champagne glass froze halfway to his lips. You work for Genesis? No, I corrected. I founded it. I am Genesis. The party went silent. All eyes moved from the jet to the woman they'd banished to the garden. But you're just coding small projects, Mom stammered. Actually, I checked my phone one last time. I just closed a $12 billion acquisition. That's why I was late. Board meeting in Tokyo. James collapsed into a nearby chair. Genesis, you're the mysterious CEO nobody's ever seen? The same CEO who just bought controlling interest in Mitchell Tech, I added casually. Those Valley Partners backing your IPO? They work for me. Dad's business partners started whispering, phones appearing in manicured hands as they frantically Googled Genesis's latest news. My phone buzzed. Message from my team. Press release ready. Time to show them everything. I looked at their shocked faces. Mom's disdain replaced by disbelief, James's arrogance shattered, Dad's confidence crumbling, and typed back. Yes. Show them what real vision looks like. The Mitchell Estates' pristine lawn had become a stage for the ultimate power shift. The jet's engines wound down as my executive team emerged, their confident strides a stark contrast to the stunned party guests frozen with their champagne flutes. Let me explain what happens now, I said, standing from my garden chair one last time. Mitchell Tech's IPO isn't happening next month. At least not the way you planned. What do you mean? James's voice cracked. Genesis isn't just buying controlling interest. I pulled up documents on my tablet. We're absorbing Mitchell Tech completely. Your revolutionary software? It's 5 years behind what we developed. Dad found his voice. That's ridiculous. Our tech is cutting edge. Your tech, I interrupted, is obsolete. While you were hosting garden parties, Genesis was redefining the entire industry. The party guest had gravitated toward our confrontation, phones recording every moment. But your little coding projects? Mom whispered. Were cover stories, I smiled. Did you really think the CEO of Genesis worked on small-time coding? Everything you mocked was carefully crafted misdirection. My executive team approached, tablets ready. Ms. Mitchell, the contracts are final. Mitchell Tech is now officially a Genesis subsidiary. James jumped up. Wait. I'm the CEO of Mitchell Tech. We're the CEO, I corrected. As of 3 minutes ago, you're nothing. Unless. Unless what? He demanded. Unless you can prove your worth to Genesis. Not as Dad's son, but as a genuine innovator. Can you? Mom stepped forward. Now see here, young lady. No, Mom, you see here. I turned my tablet to show Genesis's global reach. While you were deciding who deserved terrace seating, I built this. A technology empire that makes Mitchell Tech look like a high school project. Dad's business partners were already gravitating toward my executives, sensing where the real power lay. This is impossible, Dad muttered. The valuations, the technology. Genesis is valued at $180 billion, I stated flatly. Mitchell Tech? A mere $400 million. And that's being generous. My phone buzzed. Message from my CFO. Markets reacting to acquisition. Genesis stock up 12% in after-hours trading. You know what's ironic? I continued, watching their faces. Every time you put me in the garden, I was on video calls with global tech leaders. Every small project you mocked was worth billions. The garden is for failures, Mom repeated weakly. No, Mom. The garden was for watching you underestimate me. And now. The estate's smart screens suddenly lit up with breaking news. Tech World shocked, AS Genesis acquires Mitchell Tech. Mysterious Genesis revealed, AS Mitchell heiress. Silicon Valley's biggest secret uncovered. Your options are limited, I addressed my family. Dad, Mitchell Tech becomes a Genesis research division. You can stay as an advisor if you can handle reporting to your garden failure. He slumped, 30 years of tech industry confidence evaporating. James, I turned to my brother, you have two choices. Prove your actual technical skills and earn a real position, or take a generous exit package. And if I stay, he asked quietly, then you learn what real innovation means. Starting from the bottom, no shortcuts. Mom's hands trembled around her champagne glass. Emma, please, we can discuss this. Like you discussed my future? My worth? My place at parties. The silence was deafening. My executive team moved forward with more tablets. The press conference starts in 30 minutes, Ms. Mitchell. Global media is waiting. Perfect timing, I smiled. Dad, James, you'll need to decide quickly. The announcement goes live with or without you. You're destroying everything we built, Dad protested. No, I corrected. I'm saving Mitchell Tech from irrelevance. You should thank me. Another year of your outdated tech and you'd be bankrupt. The party guests were openly staring now. Phones recording Silicon Valley's most dramatic power shift in decades. How long? James asked. How long have you been Genesis's CEO? Since I founded it 6 years ago. Right after you told me my coding ideas were cute little projects. My phone lit up with another message. Global tech media arriving. Ready to reveal phase 2. I looked at their shattered expressions. The family that had exiled me to the garden now standing in the shadow of my jet. The press conference will explain everything. I gathered my things. You have 20 minutes to decide. Join the future I'm building or stay in your comfortable past. And Mom, I added, turning back. The garden isn't for failures. It's for people who see beyond the terrace to something bigger. As my executive team led me toward the jet, I heard the whispers, saw the phones recording, felt the power shifting like tectonic plates beneath Silicon Valley. The sun was setting over the Mitchell estate, casting long shadows across the lawn where I'd been exiled countless times. My executive team had set up a temporary command center in what used to be the pool house, screens showing Genesis's global operations. Ms. Mitchell, my chief strategy officer, approached. The media's asking about Mitchell Tech's current projects. Show them, I nodded. The screens filled with comparison data. Genesis's advanced AI systems next to Mitchell Tech's outdated algorithms. Dad stepped into the pool house, his confidence replaced by uncertainty. Those are our proprietary systems. Were your systems, I corrected. Genesis reverse engineered them last year. Took our junior team about a week to show all the flaws. James followed, clutching his laptop. But our neural network is 3 generations behind. I pulled up more data. See these pattern recognition rates. Mitchell Tech's best AI is slower than Genesys's prototype from 4 years ago. Mom hovered in the doorway watching her tech dynasty crumble. Your development team, I continued, has been stuck in old paradigms. While you were celebrating incremental improvements, Genesys was redefining what's possible. The screens showed live feeds from Genesys Labs worldwide, quantum computing, advanced AI, technologies that made Mitchell Tech look like ancient history. All this time, Dad whispered, when you said you were working on small projects. I was leading global innovation teams, I finished. Those late-night coding sessions you mocked? I was revolutionizing technology while you were planning garden parties. My phone buzzed again. Message from Tokyo. Asian markets opening. Genesys stock soaring on acquisition news. Here's what happens tomorrow, I addressed them. Mitchell Tech's board meets at 9 a.m. They'll approve the Genesys acquisition because they know it's their only chance at survival. And us? James asked quietly. You said the garden was for failures, I smiled. Consider this your chance to prove you belong on the terrace. If you can earn it. The screens switched to live feeds of global news coverage. Genesys emerges from shadows. Mitchell Tech acquired. Family drama rocks Silicon Valley. Garden TO greatness. Tech's new queen. Your positions at Mitchell Tech are gone, I stated flatly. But Genesys always needs talented people, if they're willing to learn humility first. Humility. Mom found her voice. We built a tech empire. No, Mom. You built a tech company. I built an empire. There's a difference. My executive team moved with practiced precision, preparing for the press conference. Each screen showed another aspect of Genesys's dominance. Market share, technological breakthroughs, global influence. Tomorrow morning, I continued, Mitchell Tech's employees learn they work for Genesys. Your choice is simple, help them adapt or step aside. Dad stepped forward. Emma, please. We can work together. Like you worked with me? I raised an eyebrow. How many times did you dismiss my ideas? How many garden chairs did you give me? The silence was heavy with regret. My phone lit up. Press conference stage ready. Global broadcast in 15 minutes. You have until the press conference to decide. I gathered my materials. Join Genesys as regular employees, learning and earning your positions, or watch from the garden as we absorb everything you built. Regular employees? James looked stricken. But I'm CEO. Wasu, I corrected. Now you're nothing, unless you can prove your worth without Dad's name backing you. The estate's grounds had transformed into a media circus. News vans lined the driveway, reporters positioned their cameras, all waiting to see the Genesys CEO emerge from the shadows. One last thing, I turned back to them. That garden chair? I'm having it bronzed and installed in Genesys's lobby. A reminder that success doesn't come from where you sit. It comes from what you build while others aren't watching. Mom stepped forward. Emma, we're still family. Are we? I challenged. Or are we just people who share a last name and a garden where you put your disappointments? The screens showed Mitchell Tech's stock price plummeting as Genesys soared. The market had already decided which Mitchell vision would survive. 10 minutes to press conference, my assistant announced. I looked at my family one last time. The father who dismissed my ideas, the brother who mocked my work, the mother who exiled me to the garden. Time to decide, I said simply. The future waits for no one, not even the Mitchells. The next morning's headlines were everywhere. From garden chair to tech throne, Genesys' revenge. Every tech blog and business channel buzzed with the story of how the Mitchell family's failure had built the world's most valuable private tech company while they banished her to the lawn. I sat in Genesys' real headquarters, a stunning glass tower that made Mitchell Tech's offices look like a startup garage. The wall of smart glass displayed our global operations while my small coding projects reshaped the tech world. Ms. Mitchell, my assistant called. Your family's here. All of them. I watched through the smart glass as they entered the building's lobby, their usual confidence replaced by nervous awe. Send them up. They emerged from the private elevator, eyes wide at the reality of what I'd built. Gone were Mom's dismissive smirks, Dad's condescending confidence, James's arrogant swagger. Please sit. I gestured to the visitor area. I assume you've seen the morning coverage? Everyone has, James whispered. TechCrunch wired Wall Street Journal. The garden chair billionaire. Tech's greatest secret. Not so secret anymore, I noted. Though you had 6 years to discover it yourselves. Mom touched one of the smart glass panels tentatively. This is incredible. More incredible than my small-time coding? Dad cleared his throat. We spent all night reviewing Genesis's patents. The quantum computing breakthroughs, the AI innovations. Now you review them? I raised an eyebrow. Not when I tried explaining them at every family gathering. We should have listened, Mom said quietly. Should have. I stood, walking to the windows overlooking Silicon Valley. Like when I tried showing you our neural network prototype and you told me to stop playing with computers? James stepped forward. About my position at Mitchell Tech. Your former position, I corrected, pulling up performance data. Our analysis shows your division has underperformed for 3 years. Care to explain? He paled. I followed industry standards. Standard. I laughed. Genesis doesn't do standard. We set standards. That's why we're worth $180 billion while Mitchell Tech stagnated at $400 million. The screens showed Genesis's global impact, technologies transforming industries, innovations reshaping the future. Emma, Dad tried again, we were blind. So focused on traditional success. That you missed real innovation, I finished. Do you know why I kept the garden chair appearances? Why I played along with your dismissals? They shook their heads. Because it showed me exactly who people really were. Those who saw beyond appearances found Genesis. The rest. I gestured to them, stayed in their comfortable bubbles. Mom smoothed her designer dress nervously. We can change. Learn to see differently. Can you? I challenged. Can Silicon Valley's premier tech family accept that real innovation doesn't come from garden parties and status? The screens filled with more headlines. Genesis revolutionizes tech landscape. Mitchell Tech absorbed into Genesis empire. Family dynamics upended by daughter's billions. You have choices, I said finally. Dad, your development teams need complete retraining. James, you can start as a junior developer. If you can handle actually coding instead of just managing. They exchanged glances, understanding their new reality. What do you want from us? James asked softly. Want? I smiled. I want you to understand that while you were planning garden parties, I was planning technological revolutions. While you were deciding who deserved terrace seating, I was deciding the future of technology. Dad stepped forward. Please give us a chance to what? Finally see me? Or just see my success? Both, Mom said quietly. We were wrong. So terribly wrong. I turned back to the city view, my city now in many ways. You know what the real difference is between us? You saw tech as a family business. I saw it as a way to change the world. My phone lit up with another message. Quantum computing breakthrough ready. Time to announce phase 3. Here's what happens now. I faced them again. You'll learn our systems from the ground up. No shortcuts, no family privileges. Prove you can innovate without the Mitchell name carrying you. And if we accept? Dad asked. Then show me the great Mitchell Tech team can adapt to real innovation. Prove you can move beyond garden parties to actual technological advancement. They nodded, their carefully curated tech world transformed by the daughter they dismissed. The next press conference starts in an hour. I checked my phone. I'm announcing Genesis's quantum computing breakthrough. You're welcome to attend, from the general seating section. As they turned to leave, Mom paused. The garden chair is being installed in our lobby today, I finished. A reminder that true success grows even in hostile soil. After they left, I turned back to the screens showing Genesis's worldwide impact. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just succeeding, it's succeeding so monumentally that even those who exiled you have to look up to see how far you've risen. And in tech, true power comes not from where you sit, but from what you build while others aren't watching. As I prepared for the press conference, I smiled, knowing that every future garden party would be haunted by the memory of the daughter who turned her exile into an empire. That was better than any terrace seat.